Hello, people. Hello. Today is. I don't know how to explain it in a good way. I really don't know how to explain it in a good way. It's a bit of a different stream. It's I really don't know how to say this in a good way, but yeah. It is one of those like really weird ones where it's actually I have face cam on. As you can see, beard keeps growing weirdly enough. No. But today is one of those days where it's just me, chat, myself, and a game that doesn't require that much brain power from me. And we're just here to sit and talk a bit about what's happened overall in principally, to say the least. So, for those who don't know, I've been kind of gone. I've been kind of gone. And honestly, the reason I kind of wanted to sit down, have a talk, and just... Yeah, it's in Swedish. I don't know. Can I actually switch language? English. Okay. Yep. So it's a bit of a weird one today, without a question. So, for those who don't know, last time I streamed was... When was the last time I streamed? It's been so long since I did it that I don't remember when it was. But it was... I think I've been out of commission for about 3 weeks? 2 or 3 weeks? No, 3 or 4 weeks. And, yeah. So, this is... we're just going to go... standard. So, I've been out of commission for a couple of weeks now. And honestly, what we have here today is just me, myself, and we're just going to sit here and talk through it. So, I think I streamed on Wednesday. Yeah. And Wednesday evening after I streamed, I started coughing, and coughing, and coughing. And I think you can even hear it. It's the last clip I have up on... YouTube, my latest clip there. And it's one of those where it's just like, you can hear something is going on with me. I was coughing like crazy. Before that, I had a cold. And honestly, it was at the point where it's just like, oh fuck, what am I going to do? And on the Wednesday evening, I started coughing so much I actually started coughing up blood. It came to the point where I got some really bad cough attack that I how should I put it? I coughed so bad that I started spitting up blood. And that overall, that was a sign that something was not right with me. And it came to the point where it's just like, I was coughing so much that I don't know what it was, but it almost felt like somewhere in my back, I had broken a rib or something like that. And yeah, it was bad. I could not sleep that day, and I don't know. I don't know if I should have called the ambulance or not. I really don't know if I should. I really don't know. All I know is I was in excruciating pain at that point. And yeah, that's, I don't know how to do this again. But that's kind of where it was. Like, I was in excruciating pain. I didn't sleep all day, and on the first day I usually work. And because I had been sick, I was actually planning on going to work that day. But I had to call in that morning and just say that, nope, we're not fucking doing it. Or, not really in those words, but I pretty much said, I need to go to the hospital. I cannot come to work. I need to go to the hospital. So I called, and it was one of those days you spend the whole day in the hospital. Or the whole day. So I called at like 2 minutes past opening time, and they said, oh, we're going to call you at like 10, 11-ish, somewhere around there. And yeah, so it came to the point where it's just like, yeah, okay. I actually got like an hour's sleep. But at this point, like, breathing actually hurt me. Breathing was at the point where it actually hurt me. And so it kind of, I got in a weird position. In one of the like nicer chairs downstairs, I sat with a blanket over me and weirdly and had like something on, I think I turned on like Netflix or something like that. And I actually got a bit of sleep. And when I say a bit, I mean like 2 hours. No, not even that. Like a half, 1 hour, somewhere in between. I got sleep anyway. So, and then got the call, and then pretty much just 2 o'clock. Come to the hospital at 2 o'clock. Okay, yeah. At 2 o'clock we go in there, and they look at me and just like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't know what's really wrong with you. Let's start taking tests and stuff like that. And they took like small tests from me, and things like that. And after a while, it's just like, yeah. I got to sit there a while. It's as usual when it has to do with hospitals and stuff like that. It's cheap, but it takes time. And it's what was it? I sat there, they took some tests, and then they sent me on its way to actually getting x-rayed, because they didn't know if something was broken or something was wrong with my lungs or whatever it was. They didn't know really. So after that, we kinda just, I had to go walk to the x-ray stuff, which is, to put it into perspective, the x-ray thing is maybe 250 meters away on the 3rd floor. I thought I was going to die doing that. I literally thought I was going to die. Just walking to the x-ray. I thought I was done for there. And after I got through it, it hurt like fucking hell at that point. And it sat there, just went through it. Yes. Need to go through all of this to actually get to it. As you can see, I'm still not well 100%. So after this, I walked up there, got an x-ray, got it fixed, walked down again, came down to where I was before, and in there how should I put it? I got some more tests done to me, and they pretty much said that, oh, well, I think we're going to send you home. Send you home and see how it goes for you. And we will send you home with pills and stuff like that. And yeah. But we need to take a few more tests. Okay. And I actually got like 10-20 minutes of sleep sitting upright in a chair. That is how tired I was at that point. Just sitting like this, pretty much. Actually falling asleep in a chair in a hospital. Came back and kind of gave everyone a scare. Because the tests that came back showed... The test that came back showed that I might actually have a blood clot in the lung. There was a chance of me having a blood clot in the lung, which means I got sent to... I don't know the word of it. I do not know the word of it at all, but it's something to do... Like, I got sent to another hospital, a bigger hospital that actually had the power to actually help me. And because this is just a small local hospital I am at this point. And the other one is, what is it? I think it's like 45 minutes, an hour away from where we live. The other one is 5 minutes away. So nothing really there. I got to literally... The first thing I got is I came out, actually got my mom to drive me, and she heard the news, and it was just straight off to the other hospital. And we... Okay, so we started this day out at like... This is still the first day. And at... What can the time be at this point? I think it's 3 or 4 in the afternoon. At 6 o'clock, we're sitting in the hospital. I think we got into the large hospital at like 8-ish, somewhere around there. And we got through there, and when I came into the larger hospital, they just took me to a room, just laid me down in bed, and just stripped me up. Like all EKG, all those things and stuff like that, and how much oxygen the body takes up, and all those things. And yeah, so at this point, it's really like, damn. And I got cables up, like dragged up to me overall, constantly. And let's see here. And after a while in there, and I am complaining at this point, like, it hurts to breathe. It's so excruciating. Laying on my back hurts like hell. I don't know where to go at this point. And so that's kind of where we were at that point. And at this point, I felt like, no, when we actually went to the hospital, I sent to the people that I'm like, I feel like I should inform that I'm just going to disappear from the internet at all. So I sent to Johnny, Drex, and TK the fact that I am gone now. I'm in the hospital. Or I think I sent them like we can actually check that exactly. For those who are familiar with me and the people around me and stuff like that, they will know all of those people I just said. I feel like I should inform you. Currently, I'm on my way to the hospital for a blood clot in the lung. Yeah. That is what I typed to DK Drex and Johnny. And so yeah. And yeah, at this point I didn't know what was going to happen. I get into the room, they strap me up with cables and stuff like that. And I think, like, here is the problem with this. Everything at this point kind of becomes a semi-blur for me. Because at this point, I haven't slept since Tuesday in like any large manner. I haven't eaten anything. That is one of those things they tell me that we don't know what's going on with you. We don't know what's going to happen. You're not allowed to eat or drink. Combine that in with a cough that just makes my throat dry as bone, pretty much. So I decide at this point, like, I don't know what to do. I think I'm in the room at like 8 o'clock, and I think at like, they check on me regularly, of course, but at like 11 or no, at like 10, I start complaining about like what they can do when one of them is actually in the room testing me. Okay, we might actually lose. No, I think we're fine. And then they decide, okay, you need oxygen. You need oxygen because, what is it? You should have like 98, 99, somewhere on that, in like oxygenating or whatever the fuck it is. I had 91 at that point. And then they give me... Oh yeah. And they stab me every fucking where with needles. Because I didn't know this. Because this is like the first time I've been in a hospital. Like the first time they put me in a hospital and I need to actually get something, like they need to put stuff in my arms and things like that. This is the first time I've been in a hospital, otherwise I've been kind of healthy. And so it came to the point, I think to get the first needle they stuck me. No, the first needle actually went in. So I needed one specific one for medicine. Then I needed something like specific because I was going to get an X-ray to X-ray my lungs. I needed something kind of like so they could see it on the X-rays. And that was where the problem starts coming in. Because they couldn't find it. They stung me with needles. And for those who don't know, I hate needles. Like, I hate it. And so they stung me with needles continuously for, I think they stung me 3 or 4 times the first time. The first one actually, no, it didn't get in the first time either. And they switched who was actually in charge of me getting stuck with needles. And then another came in and actually did it quickly and stuff like that. And so on. The problem is everything here that's going on currently that I'm telling you guys is still a blur for me. I do not know in what order things happen. It makes sense when I look back at it and just like, oh yeah, I probably, before I got the X-ray, I got the thing in the arm because they needed the thing in the arm to X-ray me. Makes sense, yeah. So it came to the point where he did that, and at that point, I got a bit more like active because if someone sticks you with a needle continuously, weirdly enough, you get a bit more active and you actually stay awake and get awake. So, sorry for people who actually do not enjoy this, but this is a picture of me. This is one of the few pictures of me. I'm going to show one more. This is actually me. As you can see, I have oxygen. I'm plastered up with like those things that monitor everything I do and things like that. Hey, I shouldn't complain. I'm here. I'm healthy and all that stuff. But at that point, like, I don't know what's going on. I get rolled off to the X-ray. This is the first time I'm standing up in like several hours, and I'm almost like falling over because I don't know what it is. It's body is not listening. Everything hurts. Blah 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 blah. My life is horrible. No, at that point I really didn't know what to do, and you kind of, if you get a really bad stinge of like something, you kind of get broken down, and yeah. So I get on that and do the X-ray, and then somewhere in the middle of this, like I've been told, I have no memory of this. I just told them that I'm going home. And I actually had someone with me in there. I had my mother actually in with me there because I as I said, my brain is just like gone at this point, and I'm just like, I should go home now. Lying there with like oxygen in my nose, and like I don't know where to go and can barely walk myself. It's just like, I'm going home. Yeah, I think I said that at like 1 a.m. or something like that. And after that, like, it's they're still unsure what it is at this point. They think it's pneumonia, and that's kind of the thing. Okay. It's going absolutely horrible. At this point, they think it's pneumonia, but they don't know like what kind or anything like that. So I get at 4 a.m. I get rolled in on like I wake up because there is a guy that his only job in the hospital is going around taking sick patients and moving them in beds. That is his full job. That is all he does. I moved him. He moved me to the X-ray, and then he came back and he was really talkative. I have no memory of this at all. But he pretty much just told me, talked to my mother and stuff like that. I used vague memories and stuff like that. But this guy just walks around the hospital and moves beds with patients in them all night. And okay, so at 4 a.m. I get a room, and I get my own room, my own TV, my own toilet, all that stuff. And that's kind of where I get left off, because it's kind of just like, yeah, I don't know what date this is though. It's a Friday, but it's like 3 weeks ago or something like that. It is the 27th of July. The 27th of July, so about 2 weeks ish. The 27th of July, anyway. That's when I don't really care about this. This is just going in the background, pretty much. The 27th of July is when this is. So the 28th is where we're at, kind of now, and yeah. So I kind of get stuck in there, and I don't get any sleep. I'm not going to lie. I do not get any sleep in there. I wake up every 5 to 10 minutes, and it's just like absolutely horrible. In the morning, I actually... In the morning there, at like... I get like breakfast at 8, and the doctor comes in at like 10-ish. I think 10, yeah, around there. The doctor comes in and pretty much... Oh, yeah, in the middle of this as well. So, a syringe that is, like, that big and thick like my thumb with antibiotica or penicillin or some kind of thing there, I get. And I think I get 3 a day. 3 a day for the whole period I am in the hospital. And he pretty much explains to me that my lung on my left side is so like so infected or like swollen, that if I lay on my back and breathe, the lung moves and scubs, like drags against my ribs and stuff like that. That is how I get it explained to me. What was what was going on with my body and why I couldn't actually sleep at all. And at this point it's just like, yeah, what can I do? He gives me the recommendation to sleep on my right side. So I lay on my right side, and the lung like is in the air, so to say. Just a fun fact, tonight is the first night I've actually been able to sleep on my back without waking up because it hurts. So that puts it into a bit of perspective, and we are at the 12th now, and that was the 28th last month. Yeah. And I get tablets and stuff like that, and I get my own room. When I wake up and like come to the world, I get to know that this is actually the infectious disease thing, because they're afraid that I have some kind of virus on my lung because it's pneumonia. They think so. They kind of ruled out blood clots at this point, and they're kind of just like, yeah. So you have pneumonia. You're getting a penicillin or in large dose and stuff like that. You're just going to have to stay here. At that point, it's just like, okay, yeah, I'm just here. First day, nothing happened. Nothing interesting. They took tests, and as a hospital usually is, at like 2 a.m. They come in and give tests and stuff like that. At this point, I still had the problem I had when I got the had the cold, where it's just like I am so my body just goes up down with temperature control to an insane amount, where it's just like, oh yeah, you don't have any control of how your temperature is. Don't worry about it. And yeah, and that's where I laid for a week or something like that. And if you're just in a tiny room, you go insane. There's no question about it. You absolutely go insane of just laying in the same room, not doing anything at all. Like, you will go insane doing that. And I wasn't that far off from that. Like, you had Drex, DK, and Johnny just sending me and talking to me, and other than that, you just talked a bit to the nurses and stuff like that were there. But yeah. And so it goes on. I think they always told me you will be released tomorrow. You will be released tomorrow. We don't have a reason for you to be. We're going to release you tomorrow. To the point where you're just like, okay, I'm going to get released tomorrow. And when tomorrow rolled around, they did a few tests, and just like, we can't release you tomorrow. Some test shows, I think at one time it was like, oh yeah, you have a fever, we can't release you. It's too risky. We can't release you. Your blood is showing signs of infection, we can't release you. Which is a good thing at this point, but at the same time, it's just like staring and watching Swedish television for a week. To be fair, I had the phone with me, so I actually read a bit of manga. I watched a lot of YouTube shorts, but it's just like nothing to do. Oh yeah, and I don't know why I just decided, because the first thing when I first came to the infection disease department or whatever the fuck it was, they had me on oxygen, extra oxygen in the nose, as you saw. But after that, and when I got out of the bed, I almost fell, because body was like, no, we're not dealing with this. We're not dealing with this. Fuck this shit. So I almost fell. So they were actually worried about they were actually worried about, what was it? Oh yeah, they were actually worried about my body just gave up and stuff like that, to the point where it came to, oh, here, you have the thing where you piss in and stuff like that. And I just decided, first day, I'm going to the toilet by myself, I don't care. Later on, they started monitoring in and outs of water and stuff like that, because they asked me if I actually wanted drip in my arm or just drinking water, and I just said straight up, yeah, I'm drinking water. I want to drink water. That's what I want to do. No question about it. I want to be drinking water. So, came to that point, going back and forth. It was chill. It was chill overall. In there, I took a bit of walks and walked in the room and stuff like that. And it's at the point where it's just like, yeah, I feel good. I feel good. I feel like I can do this. I feel like I can go home now. And let's put it this way. I was wrong. I was wrong. I was dearly wrong. So time goes past. They take tests on me. They stick with me with needles on a regular basis. They took like blood cultures and stuff like that. Like, I had a lot of things going on for me when they took tests on me. So after a while, this goes as it usually is. It takes a ton of time. Tests, as it usually is. And I think it hit Tuesday or something like that, and I get signed out. I get signed out from the hospital, where it's just like, yeah, you're free to go. So they parked the car. So they came and get me. They parked the car, say, 300 meters away. When I came to the car, I was so exhausted. I didn't know what to do. Like, I was out. So it just became to the point where it's just like, fuck. This is how bad of condition I am in. That I can't even walk to the car that it's 200 meters away before I'm just like out. That probably was the biggest like wake-up call for me of how bad this actually was for me, because before this it's just like, yeah, it's bad, absolutely, but I don't really know what to do. Oh, I need 500 XP. In-game 800 coins? Oh yeah, I need 8. Okay, yep. Fair enough. At this point, it's just like, okay. And I get... What was it? I get home at that point, and it's like everything just exhausts me. I'm still not okay. I'm still far from okay. Walking outside and stuff like that. I try to take a couple of walks a day to actually get back into shape, because I was in decent shape before I got my cold. But now it's just like, you are out of it, mate. And yeah. So that is kind of what's been going on for me, because it's just been 100% out cold. Can't really do anything about it. It has been on that level. So yeah. Yeah. And when I actually got home, so the plan for, I think this was at like the 7th, I think. Yeah, it was on the 7th, because me and DK had an idea of something, we had an idea to actually do like a stream. So for those who don't know, ArcheAge has been one of those games where it's been one of my favorite MMOs. It has a special place in my heart. And I came home, and okay, let's fix up so I actually can join DK, get my account up and running, download it, and test it out. Oh, what? I need to transfer my account from one end to another. Okay, and it's just like keep looking. Go in and start googling like what is the problem? Like why can't I actually find my account and get into my account? Guess what? If you didn't do the transfer from one company to another company in the right time, you were kind of screwed. Guess what? I was kind of screwed. I lost something that I held daily. I played on that character for over, what can it be? 5 or 6 years. I don't think is holding it back. Like 5 or 6 years on that. That was my go-to MMO for 5 or 6 years, and the thing that kind of, excuse my English overall, the thing that actually kept my will to live, because I had people, I was in a dark place at that time, and that was the thing that, like, every time I logged in, be it 2 at night or 2 in the afternoon, I always had people to talk to me. I always had people around me to don't want to put it that way, but like people that were always there for me, no matter where it was, and they were always someone to talk to and just escape from reality in a way, if that makes sense. Yeah, it doesn't, I know, but there were always someone you could have a conversation with that would just keep you company, so to say. Yeah, so I was kind of pissed off and just randomly started googling like private servers and stuff like that. Find out this actually is a private server. It's releasing in a few days. I think it released the 4th of August or something like that. So, without a doubt, if you've been wondering where I am, I have been doing 2 things. I've been playing ArcheAge. For the people who actually watch the Discord and is a part of Discord, I've been playing ArcheAge Classic with a bunch of friends, and also just recovering, just getting better. And according to some people, I'm actually getting back in shape, because the urge to eat when you can't breathe and stuff like that. If you can't breathe and sleep, weirdly enough, you lose some weight. I know it's horrible when I say it like that, but it seems like I've actually lost a bit of weight because of this, and I'm actually trying to keep the weight off and eating less, eating more regularly and stuff like that now. I don't know, maybe this was a great wake-up call for me. The fact that it felt like I was, that you have this shock thing of like, damn, is he going to make it? Am I going to make it? I don't know anymore. And that's kind of where it was, to be fair, because I did, like, when you get that sick and you don't really know what's going on, everything becomes a blur and everything becomes something that you don't really know what to do with. And that's without a doubt what happened to me. So that is kind of the story that's happened overall for me the latest month, pretty much, without a doubt. If it's, I don't know, it feels like I need to get this off my chest, what actually happened and what was going on, because I still feel bad about just disappearing from the internet. And I'm not going to lie now, I kind of disappeared from the internet because of ArcheAge as well, or not really disappeared from the internet, but that is what we have been doing and what I have been doing over the latest. You need 1,000,000 XP for that one. For the latest month or so. So I just felt like I'm owe the people around me just to know what happened. Am I going to continue streaming on a regular basis and stuff like that in the same extent? Honestly, right now, I don't know. I really don't know if I'm going to do it. All I know is that I'm going to try to actually be more active and actually start streaming again slowly but surely. This is kind of just a update on everyone. Oh, and one of the main reasons why I'm not streaming ArcheAge Classic is for the simple reason it's against TOS to actually stream a private server. There are people actually streaming it, but I don't want to do that. It feels everything this channel has been and is gets taken down because I decide I want to stream a game that isn't allowed. No, I'm not doing that. Anyway, this was a short, concise stream, kinda just updating everyone on what's going on. I'm going to probably update this to YouTube or upload this to YouTube and just have that there so I can link it if someone actually wants to know more. Anyway, good night everyone. Good night. It's fucking 3 in the afternoon. What's wrong with me? No, but I hope everyone has a good day. I'm going to turn off this and I'm honestly going to go and find something cold to drink. Good night, everyone. Why am I saying good night? See you later.